Hi everybody, welcome back to my just wait. All right, so we are back. We are back. And we got some sound going. Testing 1 2 1 2 1 2. Are we good? Are you good? Yeah. Guys, listen. If I could show you my setup. guys, guys, listen. This is the I actually, and I'm still preparing. Wait, let me put this on. I actually want to encourage someone. Ek wil iemand bemoedig. If there's something that you've been wanting to start and you've been waiting for the perfect time to start, let me be your what? Your motivation. Let me be your motivation, girl. I ain't starting with much. I am not starting with much, but we are here and we will grow. We will grow. We will grow. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, welcome. If you are a turning subscriber, welcome back. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for coming back. And if you are someone who's just randomly stopping by, I hope that you will subscribe and become part of our family. So anyway, I'm Kristen. And on this channel, we mainly do lifestyle content, mainly in the form of vlogs. And every now and then, the girl will take out her 28-year-old. Guys, I don't know why 28, saying 28-year-old dribbles me so much, even in my intro video. Anyway, the girl will be taking out her 28-year-old cards, dust it off and come and give some advice, share some tips, share some stories about her own journey. The girl will do that and hoping that someone can find something to learn from me. Guys, we are chasing the sun in this house. As I've said before, we are not starting with much. Hence, I'm motivating someone. Just start, Miguel. Start. Whether you have everything you think you need, just start with whatever you have. Other things will come along later. So let's get into the video. Today, y'all are in for a treat. A treat. Let me tell you. I'm joking. But today we are speaking about something very very exciting. We're speaking about my journey to becoming a homeowner at the small Indiana age of just 25. Yup. Round of applause for the gal. And guys, let me just tell you, if I can just say, most times people like us, can I say that I grew up in Elsie's River. And for me to have been able to do what I did, purchasing my own home as a single girl, as a South African teacher, we know that teachers, they are not done right by when it comes to salary. But anyway, as a South African teacher, as a 25-year-old, a single girl, for me to have been able to do that, like for me, it's quite a big deal. And when I say I come from Elsie's River, just go there by YouTube, ne? Or by the internet. Google Elsie's River, and you'll see why, for me, this is something to be so proud of. And I guess that's why I'm sharing the story today. It's like a story time of my journey to becoming a homeowner. Yeah, I'm sharing it for that reason, because I feel like growing up, I myself didn't have any young person around me who has done this, who could advise me. And so this was something that always seemed so unattainable. Like it was something that seemed as if it's for them and not for us. Whoever the them is, all of us, we have our thems that we can point out. But it was that type of thing. It's like something like me, small old me, coming from where I come from. I can't do this, you know. So that's why I'm sharing this, so that another small old person like me, let me not call you guys small old people. Y'all are mighty people in the name of the Lord. Anyway, but so that another young adult who is finding themselves maybe considering this, maybe wanting to do this, but just being so challenged that, can I do this? Is it for someone like me? Can I even do this? Like, who do I think I am? Type of vibe. So, guys, we are chatting about my journey to home ownership. And it's not going to be a formal thing, guys. It's not going to be a formal thing. I am not a financial advisor. I am not a bank person that could guide you, but I'm sharing my story in a plain and simple way. It's just a story, me telling you my journey, my experiences on the journey, and hoping that if you are hoping to start this anytime soon or one day in the future, that my story can kind of guide you as to, okay, I could start there. I can take these steps, whatever, whatever, whatever. So that's what it's going to be about, guys. But because this girl over here, she talks a lot. She talks a lot. And to be honest, I don't think sit downs. Already, I'm struggling with vlogs because I talk too much. I just talk too much. I just love talking, you know. So sit downs. Imagine you're giving me the floor. You're giving me the floor and you expect I won't talk. So I'm going to try to keep it as short and simple as possible. But because I'm someone who loves to give detail, because I love detail. When someone tells me story, I'm like, add some meat, make it juicy. Not make it juicy in the sense of you are adding spice. Tell the truth. But like, give me detail. I'm that kind of person. So because I'm that kind of person, I'm gonna give you what I like. If I want that, I'm also gonna give it to you. So that's me. So I want this story time, if we could call it that. I want it to be as detailed as possible so that someone who's really maybe considering this can literally walk out and say, okay, I can start here, I can start here, I can start here. I think the one thing I don't like and that I've experienced before when I'm looking for information about a certain thing and I'm like, let me go to YouTube and let me watch someone's video. Like sometimes it's like, okay, you said you did that, but how? Like, how? Where do you start? Did you take a taxi? Did you take a train? What did you take with? Must I take a big bag? Must I take a small bag? So sometimes I just have more questions. So I'm gonna try and make it as detailed as possible. So it might be long, and for that reason, already this intro of just introing the video, I'm sure it's long. But anyway, so for that reason, I will make it a 2 or 3 part series about home ownership journey. Part one will be about how I prepared to get to that space of saying, now I can buy a house. Yeah, what did I do? How did I prepare? What did I have to get in place in my life? So those kinds of things. I'm really hoping that I won't forget things. Yeah. Anyway, so that, and then step part two, if it's a 3 parts, it will either be 2 parts or 3 parts. Part two will be about the steps. Now that I was like, okay, I've prepared myself, I've done what I needed to do. Okay, where do we start now with the actual process of buying a house? Part two will be about that. And part three will be about, now that we are here, now that we are here in these streets of home ownership, and the girl is on here, and the guys on here who know the streets, they know. Me and you, we know. So let's get into this video because I don't have a lot of time. So how did I prepare, right? And where did this come from? So I was in no way forced or asked to do this. I think as someone setting goals for themselves, like I was always going to buy a house. At some point in my life, I was going to buy a house. But I remember growing up. I think we were in high school. My parents, the area um, just wasn't what it used to be, like the area we lived in. And the elements that bothered us used to be around us. But um, yeah, like at that time, it was like at a heated time. And my parents were like, listen, let's see what we can do to actually try and maybe move. And we went to go and view houses, and it was so super exciting. So I knew that's something that my parents would have wanted. So now when I started working, like I guess as kids, we always look at ways of how we can give back to our family, how we can give back to our parents. So I was like, how about I buy a house? I buy a house. My parents have their own homes, right? But how about I buy a house where they can come and be with me, and just have a place of peace. Um, so yeah, so that's where it all started. But also, um, with everything that I've mentioned, with the doubt and the fear and all of that, not having seen someone at the time who has done that before me, like it was quite daunting. And so where did I start? Like by now you guys would have known, I've mentioned before that with my friends we have like a devotional group, we pray together, we do Bible study together and all of that. So I went to my friends, I told them about this idea, and I told them about my doubts and all of that. And one thing about my friends, guys, like they are full of faith. They are full of faith. If there's people that inspire me to have faith, it's my friends. Like they inspire me to have crazy faith even. um yeah, so I went to them and I told them, and they were just like so excited for me, believing for me and all of that. And yeah, like it stirred me with faith. But at the end of the day, I thought to myself, let me actually start with a prayer. Let me start with a prayer. And there's two verses that I'm reminded of I'm reminded of when I say this. The one is the verse that says, do not worry about anything, instead pray about everything, right? Even the things that we feel like God doesn't care about, like everything. One thing I've learned in my personal walk with God, that God cares about the things that's dear and near to us, you know. So make everything, no, pray about everything, even the things that we feel like, no, but that's worldly things, what, you know. In prayer, God will guide you, the Holy Spirit will convict you that that's not what I want for you, or that's a worldly thing that I don't want for you, or whatever, you know. But pray about everything. So like, you know, that's I took it there. And then the second scripture I'm reminded of is make your request known unto God, right? And yeah, and I think even in church over the years, I've heard many people preach about the power of writing things down and writing your prayers down and all of that. So that's what I did. I did that. And about being specific, like at church, like many people have preached about being specific with your request, like laying it out to God, like exactly what you want. And we know He will do exceedingly above all we can ever ask, think, or imagine, but be specific, right? So then that's what I did. And I wrote this prayer in, I'm not going to show you guys. I don't even know if this thing is going to focus. So figuring it out, guys. But I wrote it the 1st of July, 2021. And so this is what I wrote. And in what I wrote, before I wrote the prayer, I just like expressed my fears, my doubts, and how at the time in that season, how I felt like God was speaking and speaking to me and stirring up my faith through other people's stories at the time. And so I wrote about that. And then I said, so with all that said, here is my very specific request to God. Lord, I would love for my first house to be in the Helderberg area. Okay, Helderberg is the areas around Strand, Somerset West, Firgrove, Gordons Bay. That's Helderberg. Eh? It must be a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, be more than 200 square meters with an outdoor or garden space. It must be in a safe area. Currently, those kinds of houses go for X amount, right? And more. And my salary can definitely not afford that. But I know that you are a God who does above all I could ask. So that's why I started. I started with this prayer. And guys, just to spoiler alert, like when I tell you God did exactly what I asked and more, let me tell you about God. But anyway, that's why I started. And then I was like, okay, what are the practical things I can do? Ding, 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 ding. We know, guys, like we need to prepare financially for this. So that's what I did. Luckily for me, I was still living at home. And obviously, when you live at home, your contribution at home will be less. Or for me, it was less than, for example, what I would have given out had I lived on my own. So I saved a bit, I saved a bit. So I was living at home. And then I had money at my disposal. I just started working, so I didn't have a lot of expenses per se. I didn't have a car yet, like around 2020, 2021. I didn't have a car. I got my car in 2021. Wait, I'm not sure. No, I got my car in 2022. Okay, that's not the moral of the story. But I'm saying that I didn't have a lot of expenses yet because I just started working. So I saved. I saved like crazy, guys. I saved. Save. Like buying a house will come with so many costs and so many things that you need to prepare for financially. So you have to save. So I saved. And also what was a blessing to me was that during COVID, we still got paid our full salaries. Thank you, Jesus. We still got paid our full salaries, and I didn't have any expenses. I didn't have transport costs. Like, when I tell you I saved, I even doubled, tripled my monthly savings. Like, so I just saved, and that wasn't easy, guys. That wasn't easy because you see your peers buying nice things. You see your peers buying clothes. I love clothes. I like looking good, you know. Um, but I had to cut down on that because I had a goal. I was really serious. I was really adamant about doing this. So, like, yeah, like I had to save, you know. So I think an important lesson, or some, not lesson, or a piece of important advice that I can give is, when you go on this journey, you must know that you are doing this for yourself, and you're doing this for XYZ reasons. And so you're going to have to set certain things in order. You're going to have to start prioritizing certain things like your savings. So I didn't buy all the nice shoes that I wanted. Unfortunately, I didn't buy all the nice clothes that I wanted, you know. So yeah, so that's one thing I did. Like, I saved. I was committed to saving. um yeah. Then also, what else I did to prepare is that I watched some videos, and I heard people speaking about credit score. I heard people were speaking about credit score, and that you need to have a credit record. So I think by now most of us know this, but you need to kind of have some form of debt, so that banks can trust you, that you are a reliable person. They've seen you take out debt before, and you've paid well, whatever, whatever. That's building up your credit score. That was me, guys, at the time. If you do your research now, I'm sure there's better ways, there's other ways, right? So one thing from the videos that I watched, I actually watched y'all's channel, yeah, from many years ago, a video where she speaks about credit, building up your credit score by taking out a credit card. And just making it to the minimum. And you know, like, the credit card is not there to have extra money. The credit card is just to kind of use the money and repay it again, like, so that they see that you can take, you have debt, and you can take credit and you can pay it back. So that's what I did. I think I also bought my phone. I bought my phone on contract. So I had those two things going for me to build up my credit record. Yeah. And then there's this, it's an app. It's an app called Clear Score. And my cousin told me, because my cousin also, he was on his own home purchasing journey. So he told me about this app that's called Clear Score. And that's where you can keep track of your credit records. Like, they have all your information, financial information, etc., etc. And you, like, they'll guide you on there. Like, a certain score is a good score, and so on and so forth. So that's what I did to prepare. I saved, I prayed, and it was a journey, guys. Like, sometimes I would pray, and then other times I would just become so full of doubt and so full of fear and all of that. And other times my faith would be stirred up again. But, like, I never stopped. I never stopped. So I prayed, and I just kept believing that, you know what, I can do this, you know, like, God will enable me to do this. And I saved. I think saving is the most important thing that you can do, guys. And then I tried to work on my credit score. Then, okay, then now I was ready. You know what, by the end of 2021, um I need to check my timeline. Anyway, so now I was ready. I have saved X amount, because as I was doing my research, I've heard about bond cost, bond registration cost, transfer duty cost, deposit, all these things happened, right? So now I felt very pumped up. And the amazing thing that happened during that time, like, you know how you say the internet listens to you? I don't know if it was one of those things, or if, no, I think it was just God orchestrating things into my favor, right? So around that time, FNB hosted a virtual home ownership masterclass, and they invited me to this, and I attended there, and I learned a lot, a lot, a lot. So apart from my own research that I did, also attending this masterclass, like, really helped me a lot. Okay. So now all of these things are happening. You know, I have my prayer warriors with me. We are all excited. I'm doing this. And so in October 2021, oh no. So while I'm preparing, obviously, even when we are not preparing to buy a house, we are on property 24. So, you know, that's the standard procedure. We are always roaming property 2024. Property 24. Whether we have 3 cents in our bank account, whether we have 3 rand in our bank account, whether we have 3,000, we are there by property 2020. Hypo. By property 24. Anyway, so I was always on there. There's another thingy that I used to also look for houses, but property 24 was my main place, right? So I was always there. I was always looking at stuff, always, always, always. And let me tell you, then this house, I think around July, this house become available, and I fall in love with this house. I start looking at this house. I start imagining myself in this house. And the nice thing is that these people uploaded brilliant pictures, like from each angle, like you can envision yourself in this house, right? So guys, I obsess over this house. I obsess over this house. Every other week I'm going back, I'm trying to see is the house still available, blah 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 blah. And in October 2021, I'm like, girl, reach out to the real estate agent. At the bottom when you scroll, you can actually reach out. And I reach out to the real estate agent, and we get in contact, and I tell him, listen, I am ready to come and view this house. I haven't done many things. I just want to come and view. Okay, he doesn't ask, did he ask many questions? I think he just asked like my name, surname, what else, phone number, date of birth, obviously just to see like ID number. I'm not sure, but just to see like, am I 18-year-old asking to view the house, or 14-year-old, I guess stuff like that, like, but very basic stuff. They asked me very basic stuff: name, surname, I think ID number or date of birth, phone number, something like that. That's what he asked me, and then we tried and set up a meeting. Guys, I am moving so much. I'm hoping I'm not disturbing the mic. We are we are making yeah, anyway, I reach out to him and we set up a meeting. I tell my family and we come and view the house. I remember I came with my sister, my parents. We come and view the house, and when we get here, we just fall more in love with this house. The house is everything we've been seeing and more. Like, guys, we just love the house. To other people, maybe it wouldn't have been much, but to us, like, we loved this house, right? That we saw on property 2024, and now that we came to view it, we just love the house. Okay, so now I'm viewing, like, obviously, like, the homeowners were here when we came to view. They tell us, no, open this, look there, what. But like, I'm just not that person. I didn't even take a video. I remember my friends were like, when you go make a video for us, I'm like, no, guys, like, people's privacy. I'm that person. Anyway, so I come to view the house, and I'm like, you know what? It was just that final stamp that this is my house.